You guys were able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Great. Okay. Okay. I'll start some brief discussion about the type 3 driver, and after that I will move to JNDI. Okay. um, See here. Java program is like dependent upon your driver here. Here you guys need to know is server is the one like type. For, yes. See. Okay, we're going to write some Java program, and that particular Java program is going to interact with the JDBC driver. JDBC driver is nothing but JDBC 14 or 6 or classes 1 to whichever it is, depending upon the version of the Oracle. And then we're going to make an interaction with the server. See, what is this server here? Actually, there were like two kinds of servers been available at here to make in web applications. Okay, one is the web server, another one is the application server. Okay, one is the web server and another is application server. Web server, the best example is Tomcat. Okay, and the application server, the best example is WebLogic or WebSphere, JBoss. Okay, these are the best examples. So what is the main difference between the web servers and application servers? Just a small discussion. Okay, um, web server is the one, it's like it is not having that much components, only the web container will be there. Only the web container. Okay, I will discuss about web container in next classes. Okay, only the web container is there in the web servers. But whereas in the application servers, we are going to have the web container. Okay, and along with this web container we're going to have the EZB container, directory server. Okay, all these extra features will be available with the application server. So that is the main reason, like if you want to go with the application, like you want the connection pooling kind of a concept and directory server kind of a concept, all these extra features if you need along with the server, then better to go for an application server. Nothing but either WebLogic or WebSphere, JBoss, like this. Okay, or if your application is very simple application, you don't need all these extra features, then better to go for a Tomcat. Okay, and Tomcat is an open source anyway. And WebSphere, WebLogic, all these are like not a free ones. You need to pay for this. Okay, okay. Now see, this JDBC server is going to make an interaction with the server. Then what is the use if it is going to make an interaction with the server? In the server, we are going to configure either type 1 or type 2 or type 4 depending upon your requirement. For example, if you like to go for a type 4, then yes, they were agreed. Client asked for, yes, I want to go for a type 4, then yes, we can able to configure the type 4. Okay, now client said like, no, I want the type 2 driver, then we can configure the type 2 driver in the server. Mean server is the one which is capable of like, configuring all kinds of drivers. Your wish, whichever you want. Okay, you should configure all these things in the server. Means for giving the for doing the configuration, what are the prerequisites for required here? Username and password, those are the common things. Okay, and the host address, SID name, and then port number. These are the common things that we need to provide. When we provide these five details, then it is going to give me one data source object to me. Okay, then it is going to give me one data source object, and I'm going to give this data source object to the JDBC driver through Java program. Okay, in the Java program, data source dot get connection. Yesterday we saw one API, right? Uh, there was some get connections present in the data source class. So by using data source, we can able to get the connections. Once we got the connection, yes, we can able to work with the other statement or prepared statement or callable statement, whichever it is, we can able to work freely, no issues. Okay, for example, consider in a situation like, I have changed the type 4 driver to the type 2 driver, then still there is no need to do any program in Java side. I mean, in Java program side, no need, don't need to do anything here, because I'm calling only the data source class, data source dot get connection. That's the class that I'm calling. I'm get the connection from the server. Server is the one which is responsible to give you connection back to the program, Java program here. Okay, wherever you are calling, server is the one which is going to give you the connection object. How it is giving the connection object, either type 1, type 2, or type 4. Okay, there will be no problems at all. Okay, depending upon it is going to give it to you back. Okay, in the next, okay, here server is the one which is going to make an interaction with the database. So server is going to take the whole responsibility to make an interaction with the database at here. Okay, you don't need to worry about like, how to make a connection, how to install the client driver, how to like, set the class path, environment path. Just forget about all those things. As a developer, just concentrate on a Java program, and by using data source object, just get the connection from the server. That's it. As a developer, just you need to concentrate on this much only. And server is the one, it's going to take care whole responsibility, like, configuring either type 1, type 2, or type 4, and it's the responsibility to give the connection object to the database. So this is how the type 3 driver works. So type 3 driver is nothing but you are configuring type 1 or type 2 or type 4 in a server. That is nothing but a type 3 driver. Here there will be no separate API or specific things are presented here. Okay, and in the JNDI concept, just I will give you some brief introduction about this. Okay, thereafter you get to know like, how to do the configuration and all. Okay, any doubts on this one? Okay, yep. Then I will move to the next concept. JNDI. Okay, Java naming and directory interface. Okay, this is a small concept. Okay, what is this mainly JNDI? Simple. First I will start with the statement. JNDI is an API, application program interface. Means nothing but some set of documents which is having like, class and interfaces. Okay, and someone has provided the implementation for this JNDI API. Okay, what is the main use of this JNDI API? Okay, what is the main use of this JNDI API? Here I'm going to write one Java application, and that Java application is going to make an interaction with this JNDI API, and this JNDI API is going to interact with the directory server. Directory server. Okay, what is this directory server and all? Let us see one small diagram out here. Okay. See here, first I'm going to write some Java program. Okay, and this Java program is going to make an interaction with this JND API, Java naming and directory interface, and this JND API is going to interact with the directory server. So what is this directory server? It is nothing but directory server is the one which is present inside a server. Okay, directory server which is the one which is present inside a server, or it is a third party tool depending upon the how you are taking. Okay, what is the main advantage of this one? In general, we use it to store the data in a database only. All right, in general we used to store the database data in a database only. But here, consider there is a situation like, I don't want to store some data. It is I want to retrieve particular data, like, every second or every minute. It's like a repeating, keep on repeating. Okay, I want to retrieve particular data. Okay, and if I'm storing the particular data in a database, some network issue, I mean, it's going to take some network traffic and it's going to take some time. I don't want to waste that particular time also. Okay, I want to use that particular time too. Okay, in that case, what we are going to do, within the application server, we are going to have one directory server. Okay, we are going to configure one directory server. Okay, and we can able to store that data into that application server. Whenever we need, we're going to access those data. For example, consider I want to configure one type 4 driver. Okay, if that is the case, what are the common things required here for me? Driver name, okay, URL, username and password. These are the common things required for me. Okay, in these, username and password are more important for me at here anyway. Okay, whenever I'm trying to make an interaction with the, I mean, server again has to go to database and pick up the data and get back, I mean, these four details, nothing but URL, username, password and driver name. Okay, for these details it has to go to the database and pick up the data. I think this is a, like, I, I thought like I'm wasting my time. I don't want to waste this time. Okay, I want to, like, make it more faster than it is. So there, they come up with a solution called a directory server. Directory server is the one which stores the data just like an objects. Okay, which stores the data just like an objects. For example, okay, consider this is the common data whenever I'm trying to get a connection. Okay, this is a common data when I need to get a connection. In general, consider if I configure the type 4 driver in a server. Okay, if I asked for a connection object. Okay, if I asked for a connection object, if I ask for connection object, server has to go to the database and pick up that particular data. I mean, driver, username, password, all these details, and bring back to server. In the server, I'm going to use those and give the connection back to the developer or Java program, whichever it is. Okay, I thought like this is a waste of time because, these four details, whatever I'm using it here, these are the common things every time when I need a connection. Okay, these are the common objects whenever I'm asking for a connection. Why do I need to go till database? Why can't I store the same data in a server? That's where come up with a solution called a directory server. Okay, directory server is one kind of a like JNDA API. They said like use the JNDA API and to make an interaction with the directory server. Okay, I will show you one small pictorial diagram how it looks like. Okay, see here, I'm trying to write one Java application program, and this Java application program is going to make an interaction with the JNDI API, and this JNDI API is going to interact with naming manager to the Java SPI service provider interface. Okay, this JNDI API to these are the directory servers. Okay, LDAP. What is an LDAP? Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. Okay, this is developed by the Michigan University guys. And then DNS, domain name service, NIS, network information system, remote method invocation, or Corba. It is the one like common object request broker architecture. Okay, these are like different kinds of directory servers been available for me in the market. Okay, it's your wish to choose which one you want to go for. Okay, by default, JDK will give you LDAP and RMI and Corba. If you are okay with these, then you can you go and use these directory servers. If you don't want, then you can go for some other service been available like a DNS, domain name service, okay, or NIS or NDS, whichever it is. If you like, you can go for all these. Okay, so what are all these? What is the main advantage for this to me? Okay, these are nothing but which stores our data. Okay, these are nothing but which stores our data. How they said like I'm going to consider this as one object, whatever the selected one it's there at here, right? Oracle JDBC driver, Oracle driver. Okay, this is the one they are considering it as one object. Okay, in the same way, the second one, the whole line JDBC Oracle thing, whole thing they are considering as one object. Okay, and this Durga is considering one object, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 they are considering one object. Okay, all these objects that we are able to store in a directory server. Okay, then what is the problem out here? They said like you should access these by using some naming service. Okay, you should access all these by using some naming service. For example, your wish, whichever the name you would like, you can able to give it for. Okay, and the name should be in such a way like only one name. There will be like there will be no multiple names. I mean, it should not match with the other name. Okay, otherwise it won't allow, directory server won't allow. Okay, your wish, it's like some name, how you are choosing in a Java for a string. You need to look choose for one identifier, right? In the same way here also you need to choose for identifier name, nothing but it is called as a name. Okay, and for that they said like they created one naming manager. If you go through this naming manager, they are going to tell you like how to create a name, how to choose a name, how to give a name. Okay, just for time being we don't require that much. I mean, um, we can give whatever the name that you are like for. Okay, and then next one is JDBC. See, for this one JDBC Oracle, just I'm choosing the name as a driver. Yes, and this is a unique name for me. And then Durga, is this is a username? I need to choose. This is considering as an object. Okay, this is considered as a name. Okay, or I can say reference. Okay, this is how the directory server looks for. This is considered as an object, and this is as a name. Okay, this is how they were looks for, and some points are there here to remember things. Okay, so what is the main advantage of this directory server? Advantage is like if I want to store some particular data which is like common, or you can say which is a kind of a repeated thing, then I can able to use this directory server concept. Okay, and this is mainly for the search operation. Okay, whenever I'm trying to look for a driver, then I'm going to call with this name called driver. Okay, whenever I look for URL, then I'm going to call with this lookup at the rate of URL. When I'm used for username, just if I want this particular object, then I'm going to call this by using username. So what is the main advantage of this directory server? They prepared the search algorithms. Okay, they prepared the search algorithms. They were like really powerful. Okay, and than the database. I mean, for example, database is the one which is like, where we can insert, update, delete, all these operations that we can able to do, create. Here directory server is mainly for search operation. For example, if you are looking for some object repeatedly, then directory server is the best option to go for. Okay, and it is not just like a database, I mean, which is having the tables or schemas and everything. No, there will be no such kind of a concept right here. This is just kind of an like, naming and objects. That's it. Just you need to give some name as a reference, and this is called as an object. This is the object that you're trying to store in the database. That's how that you need to deal with this JNDI. Okay, actually to speak, these are the directory servers. These are like, third party ones. Okay, these are the directory servers. These are third party ones. Java application
They do.
can't directly, yes.
Oh yeah. I have like this JND server is something like HashMap.
Mm, you mean key value pair you're saying?
Yeah.
That is a different one here. No, it is
Oh,
not like
okay.
that. Actually, to speak, these are like third-party tools. Okay. Java application
Oh,
can't directly interact with these third-party tools. Actually, Java application needs to store some data. Okay, and
okay.
it will be there in in a server or wherever it is. But in the server, there will be some tools like this LDAP, DNS, NIS. All these kinds of directory servers will be available in server. By default, LDAP, RMI, Corba will be available. If you want, you can able to take, I mean, buy the some other third party tools and configure all those also. Okay, but application Java can't directly interact with these. Okay, Java don't know how to make an interaction with these all these directory servers directly. That's the reason
Okay.
we'll go through JNDI API. JNDI API is nothing but it is having some set of classes and interfaces. Okay, this set of classes and interfaces will give me the way to make an interaction with these. It provides a way to me. It's just like an interface. Okay, JNDI is just like an interface which makes me to make an interaction. And naming manager is nothing but which says like how to give a name to a particular object. That's what the naming manager will says to you. Okay, and JNDI SPI is nothing but it's an internal attachment for these directory servers. Okay, and JNDI will deal with this JNDI SPI. You don't need to worry. I mean, you don't need to do the configuration, all these kind of things.
Okay. Yeah.
I will show you one simple example for this one. Okay, so that you guys get to know about this more. Um, Before this, you guys need to install the WebLogic into your systems. Okay, if you guys were having the WebLogic and nothing but you guys need to download it from the Google. I also did like that. You guys can try to download it and install. If you guys were okay, it's okay. Otherwise, I will send this WebLogic as an attachment today. Okay. First, you guys need
Yeah,
to
that's the website.
which one for WebLogic?
Yeah.
WebLogic is
Yeah.
a
Can you
product
send us like we can install?
attachment, right? Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm having the 8.h version. It's an older version. Okay. Today I will send that older version, and tomorrow or some after a week I will send the latest version also. It's 10.x is the latest version of the WebLogic. Okay. First, what you guys need to do is like, just there will be one exe file will be available for this. Okay. Please try to install that, and after that, one installation is a simple thing. Just click on next, 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 finish. Okay. There will be no passwords or nothing will be there. Okay. Once the installation is done, there our configuration setup will starts. Okay, there we need to do the concentration. Okay, so please try to concentrate what I'm doing at here and come back to me. I mean, ask me if you guys were having any doubts. Consider as a case you guys were already installed this WebLogic. Okay, installation, just installation means executing some .exe file. Next and finish. That's it. Okay, after the installation, I mean you're done with the installation. Now you are going to do the configuration. Okay, you are going to do the configuration. So how to do the configuration? Click on start, go to the Oracle WebLogic. Either you guys can click on quick start. Okay, just wait, it is loading. Yes. So once you guys clicked on this quick start, just click on this getting started in WebLogic server. So you are going to get another pop-up with configuration wizard at here. Okay, so here please choose the option create a new WebLogic domain and then click on next. Next, by default it got selected here in this generated domain configuration. For this one already checkbox by default got selected nothing but basic WebLogic server domain. Okay, then click on next. Here this is the place you guys need to give you the domain name. For example, I'm giving my domain name as Durga, and I should store my domain at some place in my C directory. Okay, C directory or whichever it is, it's your wish. No, see, for this one what I'm doing is like there is no restriction. So what I'm doing at here, C BEA, under BEA I'm storing user projects. Under the user projects domain section is there. Under the domain section I'm trying to store my whole configuration settings. Okay, it is your wish.
What is a domain?
Yes, good question. Domain is nothing but, for example, within the web application server multiple projects are there. Consider, okay, multiple projects are there. If multiple projects wants to make an interaction without any confusion, for example, every project is going to have their own manager, team leader and developers will be there and they're going to work with. Okay, consider two projects are there within the same application server. Okay, and how these applications will get separated is by using domains. Okay, I'm going to allocate separate domain for this project like that. Okay, for
Okay.
example, two projects are there, um, employee project and student project. Consider two projects are there. A student project is having their own manager, nothing but administrative manager, and all the developers will be present. In the same way, employee project is also been having the same. Okay, and their views or administrative access tools and permissions, everything should be different. They should not, like, both can access to each other within, as because they are using the same app server, they should not interact with, because we should divide it separate. So that's the reason what I'm going to do. I will create a separate domain for employee and I will create a separate domain for student. Okay, so that their instances are separate but they're using the same server. Okay, whenever you guys were creating a project, that time you should compulsorily create a domain, otherwise there is no possibility to make an interaction with the application server. Okay, this is how
Like it is
application.
like making our project. Yeah, it is
Yes,
like making our project in one place.
yes, exactly. Okay, I'm trying to create, consider I'm trying
Okay.
to create one project called Durga and I'm trying to store that particular project in
Mm-hmm.
this location, whichever the location that you choose for. Okay, it's your wish, but please choose
Yes.
as like this. User projects and domains compulsory be there, and remaining section is your wish. Wherever you're placing is okay, but user projects and domain compulsory. Okay, please don't remove this part. This is the way how the WebLogic finds. That's the reason. Okay. Okay, now you guys were provided a domain name and domain location, then click on next. Okay, actually to speak, once this domain installation is done, you are going to get a separate console to log in and to work with your components. Okay, for that you need a username and password, right? So I'm trying to give some username as WebLogic and password as WebLogic1.
This is to access our domain.
Yes. Okay, I gave the username as WebLogic and password as WebLogic1. Okay, then click on next. Okay, here you guys need to choose the development mode as an option, and then available JDKs it is going to show you. So sometimes by default WebLogic is going to give some JDKs. If you don't want, you can choose whichever you need. For example, I have installed 1.6, 1.7 or 1.4 in my system. Whichever the JDK that you want to work for, you can choose. It's your wish. Okay, so by default I'm selecting this 1.6 JDK and then click on next. Okay, all these things are not required. Just click on next. Finally, just when we click on a create, our new domain will be get created. Okay, finally we're going to get an option just like create button. When you click on a create button, our new domain will be get created. Let me click on this. Yes, it is preparing. Yes, it is done. Now let me try to start my admin server also. Yes, it is automatically starting my server, and nothing but WebLogic, this particular domain server, whatever that I have created right just now, Durga domain. It is starting the Durga domain now. Yes, I got the mode as running mode. So running mode means it is ready now. I need to go and look for. Yes, it is still deploying. Just wait for a minute. Server is not up. Okay, now I'm ready with this. It is the latest version of WebLogic. Okay, username is WebLogic and password is WebLogic1. Now see, I logged in now. There I can able to see all the configuration settings and everything at here. This is the administrative window. I mean, as an administrator, he can able to log in and he can able to manage all these components, whichever. For example, he want to create a new server instances, then he has to go to this particular environment called servers. There he can create a new servers, and deployments and everything should be managed from this deployments window. Okay, there we can able to manage all these things. Okay, and data sources is the one there,
Here,
like, yes.
you're saying you can create server instances, deployments. So, what does that mean? Like, I don't understand. What do we do with the server instances?
Okay. Okay, by default admin server will be available for us, right? Consider it here, see this. By default, whenever we created admin server is the one will be available as a by default. Okay, as because this, if this console has to be work means this server should start, otherwise we can't access this console also. Okay, right now consider my admin server is ready. If I want to create a new server, yes, I can able to click on new. There I can able to create a new server settings and everything. Server 01, and it's what its port number, what is the listen port. Okay, what is the main advantage of this one?
What is meant by creating a new server?
Yes, what is the advantage of this one? Consider your application is a very big application or e-commerce kind of an application. You're having some consider 1,000 customers or 10,000 customers are there with you. Okay, and when they were trying to at the same time, just at the same time, when all the 10,000 guys were trying to hit that application, what happens is like application can't manage. Consider application can't manage more than 500 users, then server is going to get hang. Okay, in order to avoid this, what we are going to do, we are going to create multiple servers. Okay, consider server 1, server 2, server 3. Okay, and for these servers we are going to create one node manager, just like this. Okay, see here, when the requests are coming at here, okay, all the requests are coming here. When people are trying to hit some URL, the request coming up to here. When it reaches to the node manager is going to take a decision like, which server is free and which server is busy. Consider server 1 is busy, then it looks for server 2 or server 3. Whichever it is free, then it is going to assign. And consider these two servers are busy and this is free, and it is going to assign that particular request to the server 3. All these servers are going to have application. Okay, application is deployed in all these servers, and we're going to make a node manager to manage the application in between these. Okay, to make it, I mean, faster access. For example, up to 500 users the server 1 can able to manage. After that it can't. In those cases, if huge traffic is there, in those cases node manager is going to take a decision to assign it to server 2. Okay, if server 2 is also become busy, then it's going to assign to server 3. Once the server 1 is free, then it is going to assign the new request to the server 1. So node manager is the ultimate one which is going to take a decision to assign the particular uh, request object. Okay, understand at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is there
yeah,
is there a okay?
sorry. So does that mean server 1, server 2, and server 3 are instances of the same server?
Um, yes, exactly. Within the same application server, I'm going to create different ones. Or otherwise, sometimes, for example, if my application is there, I'm going to create three different servers, and I'm going to configure these three different servers in this. Okay, depending upon requirement, like some people were ready to bear the hardware also, if hardware is costly actually to speak. If some people are ready to bear the hardware, then we're going to create a separate application server and everything like that. Some people may not. If those cases, we can create a virtual instances for them, and we can make it to be available.
Yeah, I don't know if I understood that. I'm thinking that then is the data is going to be consistent if it's running on
See,
three different
yes.
instances.
Once the request is assigned to one server, so until that particular session is going to get expire, server is the one which is going to take care. Okay. In the JSPs and servlets, you guys get to know about the request sessions and everything. Okay. I think if I'm telling all these things now, means it's like more than enough for you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Like, is there a limited, like, we cannot create these many servers? Like, is there any memory issues?
It depends upon the server. For example, right now I have started one server, right? I need to increase the
Okay.
its a RAM size and everything, its heap size and everything. It's depending upon the configuration setting how you are choosing it. If you want more and more, then install more RAM and give the more space for the heap area, so that it can
Okay.
work for you. It depends, and it depends upon the processor also. Some processors may support up to this much, for example 500 requests per second, like that.
Mhm.
Everything will be depending upon the server's configuration, I mean server settings and everything. If the server can't
Okay.
able to manage, then we should go for a next server that's called as a node manager concept. Nowadays most of the applications are implementing this kind of one only, and indirectly these three servers are interacting with the same database. They don't have a different database. Okay, all of them are accessing the same database only. Okay, come back to the application. So come to the home. So this is the place where once see I have started my server, my setup is done, my configuration is done, I have started my server and everything is ready. Now I need to write one program in such a way like I need to store the data. So I forgot to say about this. By default, JDK is going to give you some directory servers. Those are like LDAP, lightweight directory access protocol, or core bar RMI. Okay, these are the ones by default it is going to give you. Okay, anyway, I'm going to use one WebLogic directory server just as an example for you guys. Okay, and tomorrow's class I will show you one program like how to make how to store an object and how to retrieve that particular object from the database. Okay.
Is it a connection object?
Sorry.
You mean a connection object?
No, not like so.
You are saying you are going to show
No,
us a...
no. That's not a connection object. This is just a basic example to store one object. That's it, not a connection object. First, how to store objects. After that, we'll see for a connection object. If you want to know about the connection
Oh,
object, you need extra configuration again. If I tell all these things, you
oh,
guys like get confused. That's why I'm not telling.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Any doubts, Vijay?
No.
Okay. Yep. Okay then. Thank you guys, and then we'll meet again tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I have one question.
Yes,
Sorry.
please. Yep.
Yeah. So, in reality, there is no type 3 driver, right? That means, like, because
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
know we
Yes, there is no type 3
so
driver
type
in the
1,
world.
type 2, type 4.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to configure this type 1 or type 2 or type 4 in this application server. Just now I shown you one console, right?
Yeah,
Here.
that's my question is, like, how the people come up with like 4 number.
Okay, here the data sources is there, right? In this data sources that you're going to do the configuration for that, either type 1 or type 2 or type 3,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
it
I
is.
got that. Yeah. But
Okay.
when we see, like, when you see actual JDBC is a type 4 driver, that we'll think, like, oh, already exists a type 3 driver, right?
Yes, but actually there is no type 3. I mean,
Yeah.
specifically there is no, but depending upon your how type 1, type 2 or type 4 you're configuring, that concept is called as type 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, to speak, real-time application never use a type 4. They will use type 3 only.
By configuring.
Yes, exactly. They will get the connection object from the server only. Okay. They don't get. I mean, what is the problem? For example, if I'm using type 4 driver, then I need to provide the username and password also to the developer. Is that a good policy? I don't think so. No,
Yeah, that
because
too you need to provide every time.
every time, and that's like it's a secure one. Usernames and passwords are like secure one. We should not give all those details to the developers directly. Instead, if we give the connection object, yes, we can able to work on it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Great.
Yeah, Manik, clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Manik, can you send us this video today if possible? Like I'll try to like download,
Sure.
install like this
Sure.
WebLogic.
Yep. Okay. Um, you need to download from Oracle site, as because WebLogic is now belongs to an Oracle, right? Oracle product. So you need
Okay.
to download from the Oracle website. It is a 10.x version. This is the latest version right now, currently running.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Please try to download. It will be somewhere around 800 MB to 1 GB. Okay. Some other modules are there, 1.2 GB, like 2 GB, 3 GB. Please don't download all those. 800 MB one is there. Just try to download that one. That's more than enough for you. Okay.
800 MB.
Yep.
What is the version? Version
10.x,
is 10?
10.x, 10.2.
10. Okay. 10.
Okay.
Okay.
And let me know tomorrow whether you guys were able to download and install. If not,